Hey, I think, are we good here? Is this, make sure everything's lining up here? Is everything, is audio's maybe too loud? I think everything, am I synced? Am I delayed? Is there a delay? Someone let me know, please. Because last time there was an awful delay at the very beginning of the stream. So I'm hoping that it's not there this time. Can you turn down the music tab? Yes. Not sure why it's so loud. Your voice is happening while your video suggests it should. That's nice. That's a good thing. Hello, Tech Honors. That's me. Hello, welcome to Dino Hour. Okay, music's too loud. I'm turning it down. It was also during like an epic point, so maybe it was just a little too loud. No delay. That's wonderful news. We'll put the music here. Let me know if the music's too loud or something like that. But anyway, how's everybody doing? Welcome to episode 2 of Welcome to Dino Hour. I was worried. Oh, I don't like the way the text looks on this background. I guess it's okay. You can kind of see. Yeah, you can read it. It's okay. I was kind of worried that the background was problematic with these like guns, but you know, it's like close enough to video game tech. That's me, Tech Honors. Probably what you would hunt the dinosaur with. And there's guns in Final Fantasy VII. Anyway, happy to see you, Shabroki. I know you normally aren't able to make it, but hey, Shiny Crystal Pistol. Hey, Ed Jr., Smug. Hey, Rainy Cakes. Hey, B and Wit. All the usuals. Cancelled for Large Sword. Yes. Hey, Nathan. Today has been a very busy day, very productive day. I don't know if you guys may have seen, but James, my Death Dynamic Shroud counterpart, has decided to quit his day job and focus on Death Dynamic Shroud full time, which is wonderful news. I'm super stoked about it. Yeah, the camera is really close to me because if I zoom out, let's see here. Let's try it. Let's zoom out a little bit. Maybe you can sort of see the. It's not that bad up here. You can kind of see the seams. It's okay though. It's all right. Maybe if I hold one of these. Oh, that's the wrong way. No. Whoa. We're all right. It's okay. James is Charlie Sheen winning. You didn't know I had brown eyes. I do have brown eyes. You may have seen them on the previous 25 episodes of Welcome to Dino Hour. Anyway, I am excited for James. That will make it so that he and I and Keith are all making a living from Death Dynamic Shroud and other avenues. But yeah, it's really nice and very exciting for the future. I am wearing an ABBA shirt. This is my sick ABBA shirt. Oh. A friend of mine bought this at a vintage shop in Las Vegas, and I was so enamored with it that I just kept telling him how much I loved it, and then he was like, do you just want to have it? And I was like, yes I do. And so he gave it to me, and it fits like a glove. Shiny Crystal Pistol asked Tech, what do you think of shoegaze? I think shoegaze is foundationally wonderful. Did you guys see the My Bloody Valentine news thing? I don't know what the news actually is. I just saw that My Bloody Valentine posted a link to mybloodyvalentine.org, and I clicked on it, and then it just asked me to put in my email address and my name, and so I did. And it was like, thanks for signing up. So hopefully I didn't give away my identity. Parkland said people think they're just gonna finally start putting music on streaming platforms. That could be. I don't know that there's any new music. I don't really think that it's kind of like I always felt like I didn't really even think they needed to put out like MBV, the Blue cover album from like however many few years ago or whatever. Because it's kind of like the way that their like legacy just, hey B, thank you, aw, thank you very much. Still using the Neo Gaia gifts here, obviously, but thank you very much, seriously. No, the My Bloody Valentine, the Loveless, the way that their like legacy sort of just ended there would have been like perfect to me. But I don't know. I think like it's kind of like I think like Postal Service, the Postal Service, their album Give Up. I hope they never ever release another album like ever, because it would just tarnish the like isolated legacy of that album. You know what I mean? I think on an old episode of Dino Hour I talked about how Eminem fucked everything up for himself by continuing to make music long after Encore, because it would have just been sick if there was just 4 Eminem albums: Slim Shady LP, Marshall Mathers LP, Eminem Show, Encore, mic drop, never hear from him again. Just this weird little 4-album Y2K spurt. He would have just like cemented his legacy forever, just as like this like amazing moment. But instead he decided to come back and not do anything remotely good. Remind everybody how problematic he was during an era when you're not supposed to do that. And so yeah, now we have an awfully hot coffee pot, as Whit said. Hey Chillwave, kittens. The Loveless Collection, you think, okay, yeah, you said it's just gonna be them announcing they're doing a collab with a makeup company like My Chemical Romance did a few months ago. I would buy it anyway. I wish Vampire Weekend would have stopped after the 3rd album, Rachel Pye says. The 3rd album was that the Vampires in the City? Yeah, right? That was I really liked that album. I liked the first one. I didn't like Contra, but then I liked the Vampires in the City album. I think that's what it's called. And then I stopped paying any attention to them. Do you love or hate Washed Out? Abby Parker asked. I only know the Portlandia song. I don't know anything else by Washed Out. Shiny Crystal Pistol said jumping out of a record store in Ecuador with Edward Norton. Good Eminem lyrics. Nathan said, oh my gosh. Nathan said, yeah, that was the episode I was on. You were saying how Linkin Park didn't need an album after Hybrid Theory. I would never say that, Nathan. I may have said that. I don't know. I don't know enough about Linkin Park's discography to have a take on that. Nathan said Kanye West should have dropped Yandi instead of Jesus is King and then stopped music. Kanye West should have stopped at Yeezus. I don't care about Life of Pablo. I actually don't care about almost anything before Yeezus either. I just like Yeezus. Emptiness Favorite said, to be honest, kind of a hot take. I'm glad Daft Punk ended the way it did, especially for that reason. Yeah, I feel similarly. Like they really didn't even need, was it Random Access Memories? It's kind of a fun thing that happened, I think. But like, their legacy is like Homework and Discovery, and the other one that I can't think of right now. It's like really good. Human After All, God. Hey, You're Unspeakable. Modern Vampires of the City, that's what I was trying to think of. Thank you, Shabroki. Justin Mendoza said, Kevin Shields said My Bloody Valentine had like 2 EPs of material like 3 years ago. Yeah, he kind of says stuff a lot, and then it sort of just never happens kind of thing. What was cool about the MBV album was that it was like produced the exact same way as Loveless. It was as if it could have come out like 2 years after Loveless. So it kind of preserved, because like, isn't it weird like when you like listen to like a band that had like music in like the 80s and then they released something like 10 to 15 years go by and then they release something relatively modern and it's just like 100 times louder than their 80s albums because of like mastering technology and stuff. It's just sick how like you can put on MBV right after Loveless and like it just perfectly flows. I would never say that. I might have said that. Imagine saying Death's Dynamic Shroud should have stopped a virtual utopia experience. I wonder if maybe people feel that way. I could see it. You didn't want us to get all like glitchy and shit. Hot Takes Vapor says Kanye West is overrated. If you're looking for more hot takes like that, then we're gonna raid Hot Takes tonight because FM Skyline is on the show, and so stick around for that. After Welcome to Dino Hour is over, we're gonna kick it over to Hot Takes Vapor and see if they can defend the notion that Kanye West is overrated. I would probably agree with that, but I don't want to get into it. If anything, I hate the idea of Kanye West taking up any more airwaves at all at this point. So, Shiny Crystal Pistol, Peach and Plum should have stopped at Divorce Battery. Abby Parker said Kanye's best record was Graduation. I gotta say Yeezus. Actually, I liked my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy as well, but I don't listen to it anymore. Yeezus I'll still go back to. I didn't listen to, I've heard Graduation and College Dropout and 808s and Heartbreaks and all that stuff, but none of it was ever, I don't know. I'm not really qualified to talk much about hip-hop music, I don't think, because I don't listen to a ton of it. I don't know. I feel like I listen to my, like, obligatory, like, mainstream hip-hop stuff, like Kendrick Lamar, but, like, I don't know. I don't have, like, a deep enough knowledge and appreciation to have a decent take. God. Shout out to MGMT for alienating their fan base, Rachel Pye says, with their self-titled album. Can they do weird experimental shit forever? I love it. Yeah, my girlfriend loves MGMT, and it's interesting, like, the way that I think it's cool that they alienated their fan base, because I guess they probably could have done. I was actually just talking about this. Like, they could have just kept making like all like the pop songs from that first album, like that. I don't know what the song titles were, but like the that song. What's that song called? Time to Pretend. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, no, that one's not Electric Feel Smug. But yeah.
Little Dark Age is the newest one.
Yeah, Little Dark Age is the newest album, and that's pretty sweet. But yeah. Anyway, I was just thinking. I was talking to her about how like it would be really frustrating to be MGMT and like have to play that song live like every fucking night. Like it's or Kids. I think it is Kids, isn't it? Kids.
Kids uses a lot of electronic.
I think that's the. Yeah, it's not Kids.
No, it's
Time to Pretend.
Yeah.
I really thought that song was Kids. Okay. Anyway, yeah, it would just suck to have to like. It's like Radiohead complaining about having to play Creep back in the day, but then they were able to like break away from that. So, anyway, only good thing about Kanye is he brings awareness to bipolar. Yeah, it's not exactly the greatest awareness, but yeah, it's technically true. Hot Takes Vapor, bro doesn't even listen to. I'm not even saying that. Yeah. Midnight City by M83. What about it, Nathan? I feel like, uh, I don't like the song Midnight City. I like the earlier M83 stuff, but I don't even like that album. Like the double album one. Um, but, but you know, whatever. Congratulations is their best, Justin Mendoza said. Um, yeah, that one has the wacky, crazy album cover. I really like it though.
I
Uh,
like Siberian Breaks.
See, Nathan is saying Kids is the one that goes do 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 do. No. Oh.
Yeah,
There it is. That's what. Yeah. That's actually the one I was trying to think of.
you like Siberian Breaks. Remember that really long song that's like, it's like 12 minutes?
Siberian Breaks. That's the
Yeah.
song I like. Okay.
I think it's on Congratulations, actually.
Gotcha. Yeah. Skeleton Lipstick says M83's Saturdays Equals Youth is outstanding. That album is really sweet because it's kind of like a John Hughes film, but like an audio version of a John Hughes film. But I don't. It's like I don't know any. I can't like. I don't know any songs on it. Like it's sort of just one of the. It's like it's almost like one of those vaporwave albums that just kind of happens, and you're like not aware of where you are on the album. You know what I mean? But I do think it's a cool album. I like the. What's the fucking M83 album that's like all their titles? You know, like Red Cities and Dead Revolvers or whatever it's called. Dead Cities, Red something, Seas. You know what I'm talking about. Rachel Pye says Siberian Breaks is an experience. It is. It is. It is epic, for sure. Smug Duck likes Siberian Breaks. Stinky Poo Poo quoted Kanye saying, "I love your titties because they prove I can focus on two things at once." See, and that's somehow totally acceptable lyric, not misogynist. Shabroki, are you streaming this while at work? Abby Parker asked, "What are y'all's favorite Aphex Twin record?" You all will have to answer that question because I don't have one. Because I simply just don't listen to Aphex Twin. It's not my thing. Dead Cities, Red Seas, and Lost Ghosts. Thank you, Skeleton Lipstick. God. Red Dead Revolver 2. That's what I thought it was. Anyway, yeah, so hopefully we can move past Kanye on here. Shiny Crystal Pistol said Michaela is the MGMT expert. It's true. She listens to the song Little Dark Age like every single day. I've heard it every day for like 6 months. It's true. I think hey, Skeleton Lipstick, I don't listen to Aphex Twin either. Scuba Tank said, "I've like never listened to Aphex Twin." I like when I was in the 90s and like late 90s when I was like in high school, some of my friends like were like into Aphex Twin and Altekra, and I really tried to get into it, but I think like at the time it just simply wasn't like musical enough, and like I wasn't interested in like rhythmic or arrhythmic music. Hot Takes Vapor said, "How do you Philistines not listen to Aphex Twin?" Yeah, it's just I don't know. I wasn't into it. It's like one of those things where I kind of just recognize that it's like good, and I wouldn't be the type of person to be like Aphex Twin sucks. I would just be the type of person to be like Aphex Twin's not my thing. But Skeleton Lipstick said, "Nothing against Aphex Twin. I love what I've heard, just haven't gotten around to it really. I was more of a Boards of Canada guy." I do like Boards of Canada, particularly GeoGaddy. But then they came out. It's like, this is what I mean. This is that like protecting your legacy thing. That like what was that? What was the Harvest album? that they came out with after like a long hiatus. Because I thought that album was so boring. But whatever the case, I don't know. Some people liked it. I just thought it was like just not. It was like when Boards of Canada was doing what they were doing at the time, it was super interesting. But then when they were just doing the same thing a million years later, when everybody else had already started doing that, it was kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too judgmental, but Justin Mendoza said Altekra is definitely not super melodic at times, but Aphex Twin is fucking Melodic City. The only Altekra album I listened to was like Confield, and I was just like, I'm just not into this. Like at the time, I was like, with Aphex Twin too, it wasn't that it was, I don't know, it was just like, I don't know, maybe it was too noisy, or something. I just did not care for it. At the time, I listened to a lot of like British rock music, like post Britpop and Britpop. So like Radiohead, and then like the immediate after effects of Radiohead. And all that stuff was basically just like Beatles worship. So it was very like song oriented, and I couldn't really get into a whole lot that wasn't like that at the time, at least. But that was like my fundamental era of listening to music, and so it kind of sucks when you like miss out on an artist during the like when you're like foundational era of your, where you're like forming as a human, because then you don't like, that doesn't get to like be a part of your growth exactly. Skeleton Lipstick said Tomorrow's Harvest. Yeah, Tomorrow's Harvest. That's the Boards of Canada album. I wasn't into that. Sorry, I'm catching up on the chat here. Hot Takes Vapor said, hot take alert, almost every genre of electronic music after 2010 wouldn't exist without Boards of Canada. Yeah, that's a hot take. It feels like there's a whole lot of music that came before Boards of Canada that had an impact on electronic music after 2010. Unless you're talking about like, maybe like the, I don't know, like internet electronic music or whatever. Cause like, what about all the, I don't know. Does that make sense? Feels like, I don't know. Feels like that is a very hot take. Justin Mendoza said, Ophelia Tech, maybe just revisit it another time if you get the itch. Yeah, I think I just need to kind of be in like the right frame of mind. There was this period of time when I lived in Philadelphia. That was like when I started to really dive off the deep end, to try and get into music that I like couldn't appreciate before. And I remember, like, I think, like, the pinnacle of that era was I was, like, really into this album called USA by the band R/S. It's, like, I don't know how easy that is to Google, but yeah, it's called USA. It has, like, 3 songs on it, and they're all, like, 20 minutes long or something. And it literally is just, like, bursts of noise, like, electronic, like, screeching and squelching, and I was just like, I remember thinking when I was listening to it, I was like, God, I can literally listen to any kind of music now. Like, there's this, like, fully lifts the veil. I can listen to anything, and so now, yeah, I can. Shabroki asked, Tech, do you enjoy any noise artists? Yeah, I think, like, so that, and then I listened to other stuff back then, although it's hard. A lot of, like, Orange Milk, early Orange Milk albums, kind of have, like, noise elements to them or whatever. Emptiness Vapor said, I had this moment when I got into Merzbow. Yeah, it's sort of just like this, like, okay, like, if I can listen to this, then I can appreciate anything now or something. But yeah, it was like before when I was like, I don't know, in high school and stuff, there was just no like it's kind of wild. Like Gen Z, like a lot of young people can get really into noise and stuff now because they have the ability to be exposed to it so much more easily. Like I didn't even have like Napster until I was like halfway through high school. So it was like hard to find. A lot of times you had to have like an older sibling in college who would show you something. But if you didn't have like a college radio station, then you pretty much were just stuck with like mainstream artists. But yeah, it's cool when you can kind of get past that barrier or whatever. Gibarian asked about The Field. I've listened to The Field album, but I was really bored by it. Again, it wasn't that it was bad. It was just I could like tell or some. I don't know. It was just not. It was too maybe like minimal or something for me at the time. Burial. Abby Parker asks. That's another artist. I don't think I know a single Burial song. It's like Aphex Twin. It's like this ubiquitous thing. Especially for like Death Dynamic Shroud styles of music and stuff, but I don't know. I think like James I know doesn't listen to Burial either. He doesn't listen to Aphex Twin, and I think like it's just I don't know. I think like when having influences like that, I'm almost kind of glad I don't have influences like that because my influences can be like like Oasis, but I can make like I don't know, new electronic music and like use that as like a source of inspiration, and it allows for like a unique voice or whatever on it, maybe. Oh, hey Al. Hey Black Midi. How did you guys let me forget about Dino Hour? I didn't. I tweeted about it. Turn alerts on for my tweets. And then you'll never miss out. B hasn't listened to Burial. There you go. They were talking about Burial. I didn't feel like texting you. Abby Parker said it's hard for me to listen to most noise records. So at a certain point, like once I like unlocked the ability to listen to like anything or whatever, it became like I kind of like went on that adventure and then was no longer. It was like okay, I get it. I've like it's almost like doing a side quest where you get like some piece of armor or weapon that you don't use. You're just like, okay, I did that. Like, I have the weapon if I ever want to use it, but so I kind of like after a few years of like kind of dipping my toes into like that world of music a lot more, I started to kind of shift back, but not meaning I went back to listening to Oasis, but just kind of was. We do love Oasis. Justin Mendoza said, never listened to those Oasis albums, though I've been meaning to get around to them and Blur. So, Blur is the real deal. Blur is so much better than Gorillaz, in my opinion. My favorite album of all time is by Blur. It's called 13, and it's from 1999. And it's really interesting because, like, I don't know, it's worth watching. Like there's like a documentary. I think you can watch it all on YouTube. That's about the Britpop war between Oasis and Blur, which was just kind of like a fascinating cultural moment, I think. But maybe like in England, we didn't experience that much in America. But yeah, anyway, it was just cool. Like basically Oasis and Blur like were really good songwriters, but then it turned out in the long run that Oasis was basically like a one-trick pony, and Blur actually possessed a lot more I don't know, versatility. And and they were the ones who, like, of all those bands, Pulp and Radiohead and Oasis and Blur and like fucking Manson and Long Pigs and Suede, like all these like UK Britpop bands. I feel like Blur was the first one that went kind of like started going in like an interesting direction, experimenting a lot more. But 13 to me is like, if you've never listened to Blur, listen to 13. Nathan said noise music isn't really the sit down and listen type, it's the get hella fucked up and go to the noise show type. Yeah, I think that might be part of the reason that I have a hard time with it, or don't listen to a lot, is because most of the time when I am listening to music, it's just to listen to music. I can't like use the internet and listen to music because I get distracted and can't like read what I'm looking at. Justin Mendoza said the brothers in Oasis always come off as so grating, but I listen to Kanye, so maybe I shouldn't talk. No, they are the absolute most obnoxious human beings, and it's amazing. They're so ludicrously like mean and arrogant, but it's sort of one of those things where you just like, it's just like funny. I don't know. I don't hold it against them. I just like, yeah, all right. There was another. Oh my god. Gibarian says the first 2 Oasis albums are godly. I would say the first 3. I think Be Here Now is an underrated classic. But let's see, where are we here? Hyperreality asks, what is your favorite album you made under DDS? Me personally, that I personally made, probably most proud of Classroom Sex Tape, but the one I like to like just put on or like listen to is one of the ones from the New World Mixtape Club called Yellow Flower Lost. But I think Classroom Sex Tape is the one I'm like most proud of. When it comes to like DDS as a whole, like with like the group, Heavy Black Heart is far and away my favorite thing that we've done. But the next album that's coming out on 100% Electronica, like the next mainline DDS album, that's gonna be my favorite. Shiny Christopher said, Tech, what's your favorite Oasis album and why is it Be Here Now? Yeah, so it is Be Here Now. It really is my favorite. It's just over the top. Hot Takes Vapor says, shoegaze is better than Britpop. You know what? Honestly, I don't think it is. I like Britpop more than I like shoegaze. And I really love shoegaze. But shoegaze is like a type of music that feels like it should be so much better than all the bands that are shoegaze let it be. Like obviously like Slow Dive and My Bloody Valentine are great, but then and Lush was good too, but like Ride, like there's like a seminal shoegaze band and like I think they're like so boring. There's like one-off songs by artists like the Telescopes, the Perfect Needle, and what's that? Bowery Electric, first song on one of their albums. Anyway, like there's just like one-off songs that I feel like are good, but full shoegaze albums, I just feel like they found a palette, but weren't good at making a song most of the time. But anyway, that's my take on shoegaze. It should be better. Gorillaz is just Blur throwaways. It kind of is. I don't know. I like Blur way more. Tech, you are glowing tonight. I've got these lights on me. Oh, I look right at them every time. Just like a bajillion dots in my eyes right now. Shadow Zone Production says the Magic Whip is a great album. It is really cool. I was never expecting any more Blur music to come out, but that album is sweet. Let's see. Pulp, yes, Pulp rules. Everyone loves Park Life. Yeah, that album is incredible. Supergrass, there's another one. Bluntalicious says, I like Supergrass more than Oasis in retrospect. It's fine. Yes, I brought up Long Pigs. Justin Mendoza said, always loved all sorts of British pop rock, but never got around to those glaring bands. I mean, they're not, Britpop is sort of like, it's kind of like the post-grunge era of the grunge era, where like all these fucking bands were popping up that are like Live and Collective Soul and like Bush, just like, like after like Nirvana, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots. All right, then after that, a lot of just kind of machine churning factory music out, and that's kind of how Britpop is too. Those chord progressions, they're just so influenced by the Beatles that I can't deny that their like sense of melody and chord progression is just so good that I love it. Happy Mondays, yeah, there's another one. Justin Mendoza said, been meaning to check out Pulp 2, 100%, very strongly encourage you to listen to Pulp. The album Different Class from 1995 is a masterpiece. The big war between Blur and Oasis basically came down to the albums What's the Story, Morning Glory versus The Great Escape. And What's the Story, Morning Glory obviously was like the more popular album. I prefer The Great Escape by Blur, but truly, from 1995, of all the Britpop albums that came out that year, even The Bends by Radiohead, I would still take Different Class by Pulp over all of them. So, check that out. Nathan said, I assume you've seen the Nardwuar and Blur interview. Yeah, the drummer, Dave Rowntree of Blur, was like drunk and like hassling Nardwuar, and it's really fucked up. Like I watched it, I was like, what the hell? And then he like publicly apologized for it later because he was like running for office, and it like resurfaced that he was an asshole to like the nicest person on the planet. Yeah, it was pretty whack. Abby Parker said, for a long time I got into Car Seat Headrest and only Car Seat Headrest. I've never listened to Car Seat Headrest. I have a hard time with, I think their band name just like made me never want to listen to it. I just can't stand that band name. I'm sure it's fine. I don't know. Rainy Kick said, I've only once before heard of Car Seat Headrest. Crazy reference. I feel like people mention them on Twitter all the time for some reason. Shiny Crystal Pistol said, oh, Smug, yeah, I'm not reading that. Abby Parker said, did y'all actually like Blink-182, or do you just like George Clanton? Blink-182, Enema of the State, is, in my opinion, a culturally significant 1990s album that I think is good from front to back. It's juvenile and ridiculous, but so is like 100 Gex. It's so fucking sick. But like, it just really is just like really, really, really solid pop songwriting hooks. Like just, it's just really good like pop punk from that era or whatever, that like mainstream burst of pop punk where like all those bands were like Sum 41 and like fucking, it's another one of those like SR 71, some other word followed by a set of numbers. But yeah, I do love Enema of the State. Everything before it, I don't care. Dude Ranch, I don't care. I like the song Damn It, but the rest of it, and then after it, like Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, like Girl at the Rock Show is cool. Stay Together for the Kids, it's cool, but I do love Enema of the State. Hyper Reality said, what if instead of K-pop that got popular, Russian pop came on top and people started simping over drunk Russian men? Isn't that what, isn't that like what Hard Vapor like pretended to be or something? Farplay and Aztec, favorite musical mode? Don't get me started on this. Not a big fan of the whole like mode concept being used in modern music. I don't fucking know jack shit about it because like when I was learning it in school, I was like, this is fucking not. Who cares? I don't know. People are like, Tech's gonna say Mixolydian. My favorite mode is Nickelodeon mode. I can't get into nerding out about theory and all that kind of stuff. It's not my thing. Whatever the fucking, what is it, like Dorian and what's like major? What's the fucking major key? Major key and harmonic minor. That's all you need. Fuck natural minor though. No way. My favorite mode is shuffle. My favorite is Allah. Dorian Electro mode. Farplane said that's fair. There's a new wave of YouTube music theory memedom. Yeah, I feel like there was a video I watched recently that was pretty good. It's from that one guy, I don't know his name. He makes videos that are like 12 seconds long. I don't know, 30 seconds long. It doesn't matter. Anyway, he made like a short video about like when someone likes water before finding like somebody liking something before finding the subreddit for something. And it's just like, oh man, I really love water. And then after like they've discovered the subreddit, it's like if you're gonna be drinking water, please don't be drinking any of that like Dasani or blah blah blah. You're gonna want to freeze your ice cubes at roughly negative whatever degrees, and do some throat exercises to make sure that you really get the water to go down. That kind of stuff. Yes, that's it. Lundyland 95, correct. Pro ZD. But it's right on point. It's the internet has a habit of fucking nerds ruining everything by getting too obnoxious about it. It's like my I like sports, right? My brother likes sports as well. My dad likes sports as well. My dad is the kind of person where if you like watch sports and you want to talk to him about sports, maybe you mention like something about the team that he likes or whatever. You mention just you catch the end of that such and such game or whatever. Just sort of a very like social thing about sports. Sometimes you'd be like, God, how about whoever, LeBron James or something like that, and talk about that for a second. And I can be like that too. It's sort of like a ace up my sleeve when I'm hanging around like bro-y douchebags. I have something to talk about, but like I also really like the super nerdy statistical side of sports. But I know not to talk about it around most people unless you like feel them out and discover that they like that too, because you're gonna irritate them. Because they don't give a shit about how many fucking like fourth quarter comeback drives in the final 7.5 minutes that such and such has had against X team. Like they don't care. But my brother loves that stuff, and like I always see him like he'll start talking about that kind of stuff around my dad, and my dad's eyes just kind of glaze over. But I'm always just like, don't talk about it like that. Just don't nerd out about it unless you know you're in the company of other nerds. Anyway, Shiny Crystal Pistol asks Tech, do you like binging with Babash? Binging with Babash? No, I don't know what that is. What music said right up there with Gus Johnson. I like Gus Johnson. I think he's pretty funny. Brendan Levin asks, what's better, Weezer's Blue album or Pinkerton? It's Pinkerton for me personally. What's better? I don't know. I like Blue album more, but I haven't listened to or Pinkerton enough to. I don't think I've listened to it enough to like be able to say. I know I got really obsessed with. I can't remember any song titles anymore. I think I'd be good for you and you'd be good for me. What is that song called? I fucking don't remember. Somebody let me know. Anyway, yeah. Well, goddamn you, half Japanese girls. That song. El Scorcho. That song. Yeah. That song is really great. Pinkerton is a cool album, but yeah, Blue Album is just my shit. LeBron James. Dougie Flex said, I mean, the loss of heat is greater in the same amount of time, but I don't know if it freezes faster. You're talking about the cold water boiling faster myth. You know what removes the heat from your water? Dougie Flex said, damn, if I ever go back to school after this, I'm getting a chemistry degree. Did they ever teach any of you about the quadrants of, like, the flavor quadrants on your tongue in school? Did they teach you, like, that salt is in one part of your tongue? Like, salt flavors are detected by one section of your tongue. Bitter is detected by another. Sugar is detected by another. Acidic or sour is another. Yeah, okay, B says no. Whip Music said I learned that from a book. Yeah, Rory said yes, it's all BS. Rory is very correct. It is complete bullshit, and I was taught that in school, like, multiple years in a row. I was not taught about umami. I did not even learn about the concept of umami or savory or whatever until I was, like, in my mid-20s. Just probably because I don't care about food, so it never came up, but, yeah, the taste bud map is a lie. Total garbage. And they would make us try foods, so they'd be like, here, try this salty thing, and notice how you taste it saltier over here than over here. And then as kids, we're like, oh yeah, because it's a placebo effect. But it's absolute total bullshit. The tongue is a lot more complex than that. Big umami milkers, Jesus Christ, shiny crystal pistol. Dougie Flick says, like the teachers who say if you lay out your intestines, it wraps around the globe. I do say that. That's true. That's true. But only the small intestine. They teach it a little bit, but my high school mostly focused on biology. Rainy kicks it. My intestines are not as long as they're. Yeah, you only use 10% of your brain. Isn't it like the that fact about how people swallow like 8 spiders a year in their sleep or something like that, is a made up fact to show how quickly a made up fact can propagate. And so there was like an email chain or something like that with fake facts, and that was one of them that caught on. I don't know. It was, the thing is, I know that I definitely eat at least 8 spiders a year because I usually eat them while I'm not asleep. Just kidding, guys. Come on. Shiny Crystal said, I heard once that one of our hairs taken out and stretched out is bigger than the Empire State Building. What? Hyper Reality says, why taste food when you can inhale it like a madman? That's right. Should never take longer than 8 minutes to finish a meal. That's true. That's a tech honors take. A take honors. Black Midi said, Tech, I know you live in Florida. Have you been to D's yet? I don't know what that is. I have not seen a D's. Yes, I eat spiders at Junior. I caught up with the chat. Wait, way to go. Yeah, I think I do like a good spider. I should wait. There was a miscalculation. There's one man known as Spiders George who eats 10,000 spiders a day. He's an outlier and shouldn't have been counted. That's the problem with averages. I wanted to did you know one strand of DNA? If you stretch a strand of DNA from one end to the other, you will have stretched an entire strand of DNA. Come on, Dougie Flex. You're wasting my time. I've heard that Florida is also home to SawCon. Have you been? No. I don't go outside, so. Shabroki said, Tech, is it still reggaeton everywhere you go? 100% yes. Always. Actually, we were in the car, driving for, I don't know, maybe like half an hour, and almost every single radio station, we were just like flipping through radio just out of a morbid curiosity, and almost every single radio station was like in Spanish, or Spanish music, or reggaeton, like, I was like, damn, it's a very different culture down here. Did you know there are more airplanes underwater than submarines in the sky? I used to be obsessed with those, like, cutesy questions, like the why are shipments sent by cargo, or why are shipments sent by car and cargo sent by ship, and why do we drive on parkways and park on driveways and stuff like that. Did you know in China they just call it food? Jesus Christ. Dance hall is better than reggaeton. Change my mind, Randochi says. I'll just agree. I haven't heard a single reggaeton song that I've been interested in. Food underwater tastes soggier. Stays water wet thing. Nathan said, argument that 2 kids from my elementary school had in one of their mom's cars while I was sitting behind them. Michael said, did you know that your blood is actually blue when it's inside your body and not exposed to air? Ian said, that's not true. Michael said, my dad told me it's true and he's a doctor. Ian said, your dad is a bad doctor then. I was taught that same thing. Why does it appear blue? I have no idea. That can't be true, right? I really don't know why veins are blue though. I love reggaeton. Sukino Jasmine said, check out the OG Ivy Queen. Okay, I'll listen. I genuinely will too. Just like out of a curiosity to find something that I like in that world that I just don't so far. Dougie says, blood appears blue due to light scattering through your skin. Oh, because of the skin. So I was taught it was blue until oxygenated. Yeah, Rainy Cakes said, I was taught that it was blue until oxygenated. That's exactly what I was taught as well. De mas gasolina. Yeah, I don't know. Gasolina does go hard, Kevin says. Hey, Kevin. Yeah, I don't know. Love dancehall, but reggaeton sucks, Shadow Zen Production says. It's blue because I'm colorblind, Roy says. Is hemoglobin in veins? Or less hemoglobin in blood? I don't know. I don't know anything about biology. I don't know how like my body works. To me it was the single most boring subject in school was biology. I just did not care how this functioned. Just do your job. All I could figure was that if it didn't do its job, I'd have to go talk to a specialist about it anyway. So what the hell do I care? But you should care. There's things that you can do to help yourself. Nathan says both biology and chemistry suck. Yeah, chemistry was kind of cool because like I liked the periodic table of elements. Just thought it was sweet. I like memorized it when I was a kid because I just thought it looked cool. Shibuki says mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. It's very true. Justin Mendoza said favorite current movie? Current movie? Oh man. When was the last time I saw like a modern movie? I truly don't know. Dang. I don't know. I think like I feel like all the movies that I've seen in the past, like that are like new. Oh wait, no. I feel like the last good movie I saw like in a theater was Get Out, the Jordan Peele movie. And then I don't watch like movies on Netflix almost ever. Um, every now and then I'll watch something like with like Michaela or something, but yeah, not I don't know. I don't watch a lot of movies anymore. I watch a lot of YouTube, and that's about it. Uh, but doesn't have to necessarily be modern. Favorite movie? I'm not sure. I like Blade Runner. I like Melancholia, which is a Lars von Trier movie. Um, I like Being John Malkovich. Um, Other movies I really like. I really loved Ex Machina. Um, I don't know. I don't know if I have like a favorite movie. I'd have to really think about it. But yeah. Oh yeah, Uncut Gems was really sick. I did see that. I didn't see it in theater, but I did see that. Al says Blade Runner is so good. It is. Shabroki said, I encourage you all to read the Wikipedia page for pasta. It's a rabbit hole and a half. For pasta? We'll have to check that out. Abby Parker said, I don't watch movies. I watch 100% TV. See, I look. You see up there? Got the logo, and it spins at some point. Come on. There it goes. It's a new feature. World of Equip says, Tech seems like a Kevin Smith kind of guy. I really did. I loved Mallrats and Clerks. I liked Chasing Amy. I actually never saw Dogma, and then, but I've heard that's like the best one. I'd probably like it. And then I saw Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I saw Clerks 2. I didn't see Tusk. Not interested in like body horror films like that, but yeah. Anyway, Rainy Kick said, "Well, no, I saw E.T. when it was re-released for the 20-year anniversary, and then in the late '90s or some shit." Man, E.T. I wonder if I'm sure that still holds up, right? I haven't seen it in a long time, but Ed Jr. said, "I have a question for you, Tech. Why does everyone like politics? If everyone doesn't like politics, why are people so focused on it most of the time?" Uh, that's a huge question, Ed Jr. Uh, I think that most people don't like politics. I would say they probably don't like it, but people do get obsessive about it. Probably because a lot of people's lives are dependent on decisions made by politicians, and that's sort of become more clear to the general public with the popularization of the internet, as the dispersal of information has more quickly and adequately spread across the country and the world. And so people are more informed and misinformed than they've ever been. And so, yeah, I think. And then also, the advent of 24-hour news channels have made it so people are it's constantly on people's minds, or able to be. And fear mongering really latches onto a lot of people, which the media does because the news channels really like to make money from advertisers, so they have to sell the news rather than just tell the news. So they get people really worked up in a frenzy about stuff, and they basically have this real-time cultural narrative that they almost get to write themselves, which is like a reality TV for everyone, and it's exacerbated by social media, where more information is propagated without being checked or sourced, and basically it's a huge clusterfuck that is important and also frustratingly difficult to navigate. So yeah, that's why I think. Also, the whole like having like a being on a team, like being like people love to be like morally superior. They love to be right, and so there's a bit like a division between Democrats and Republicans, conservatives and liberals, the left and the right, and you basically get to choose a team and feel morally superior to the other side. So yeah, a lot of that, I would say. James is obsessed with David Lynch. Everybody should be obsessed with David Lynch, in my opinion. Ed Jr. says, "What's up with Arkansas?" I don't know. They're in the Elite Eight, though. Their college basketball team. Tsukino Jasmine said it's more like liking being misinformed. Yeah, I think it's like having it's wanting to have your own rough opinion validated so that you don't have to continue to do work to figure out if what you believe is factually true or not, which is a Sisyphean task because you really can't at this point navigate information well enough to be able to determine if you are factually correct or not. So yeah, very frustrating. Tech honors for Miami City Council. Yeah, until I get till classroom sex tape. Till a piece of art I made called Classroom Sex Tape surfaces, and then I have a sex tape scandal. Rainy Case said my mother grew up in Kansas in the 30s and 40s and was taught to pronounce it our Kansas. Our Kansas. That is wildly inaccurate. Although I went to school with a lot of people who called it Illinois. So gonna be honest, the last show you've seen is Breaking Bad. I've never seen Breaking Bad. I can't watch TV. It's just too much. I just can't. Junior says, what if I also fuck Arkansas for the name alone? Choose a different name, for God's sake, Arkansas. Hey, Slimewire. Happy Reality said, I'm so sick and tired of politics, I'm about to go to Colorado and live in the mountains avoiding people. Yeah, I think that's what happens, right? Like, everybody gets so frustrated by how impossible and overwhelming it becomes that it just, the answer feels like to just leave it be. Which is its own set of problems. But Justin Mendoza said, the news is instantly anxiety-inducing. Got to be careful how much I read and see and how. Yeah, no, it's true. The Duke Master, is this the Dino Talk? This is welcome to Dino Hour. Dinosaur discussion is a few levels up. We're always talking about dinos. Everything is dinos. Yeah, it's funny when Barack Obama was in office, that's when I feel like the conservative right really got infatuated with like Fox News, and then when Trump got elected, the left then did the same thing. Well, not the left, I would say liberals maybe did the same thing with like MSNBC and CNN. And it's frustrating because like both groups of people then become so fixated on it. It's like their whole life revolves around it, and a lot of it is just like entertainment, fear mongering, and I don't know. But yeah. Oh Lord, I got cut off from the chat. Yeah. Nathan said, Tech, are you a Delaware truther? I'm trying to think if I've been to Delaware. I may have, but maybe I haven't. Tupperware Web X said, why is it not pronounced Arkansas? Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'll try living like this. We should start a change.org petition, the most effective way to create change. to get Arkansas to change its name, and then maybe we can get somewhere. You know, maybe we can get something better. What would you call it? What would you call the state of Arkansas if it wasn't going to be called Arkansas? Hyperreality said, I traveled down to Arkansas a few times in my life. Besides the state parks, there is nothing down there. It's like if Amish people decided to use technology down there. Yeah, isn't that Ozarks in Arkansas? I don't know. I don't know anything about Arkansas. Little Rock, the Ozarks. It's where Bill Clinton was from. And their college basketball team is in the Elite Eight of the NCAA March Madness tournament. So that's all I know about Arkansas right there. B said, you went to school with Sufjan Stevens fans? Oh, Illinois. Figured it out. Shiny Crystal Business said, breaking news, musician Tech Honors busted with having sex in a classroom and recording it and making it into an album. Yep, that's the scandal. This is one I was thinking of watching next. Oh, God. Justin Mendoza said, I don't watch much TV, but I just binged Twin Peaks The Return, and it obliterated my brain and restored my faith in the possibilities of the TV or episodic format. You know what? When I was recording the new DDS album in Philadelphia with James and Keith, we watched a few episodes from season 3 of Twin Peaks, and it was fucking awesome. It was so sick that a show like that could have a budget like that and exist and be funded like in this era. It's fucking awesome. Smug Duck said, I said this on Discord and I'll say it here. I saw a post on my timeline the other day saying something about how conservative media lies. If conservative media lies, then so does liberal media. I trust neither. My only reliable news sources now are The Onion and Dino Hour. Yeah, that's true. Dino Hour is the most reliable source of news, certainly on 100% TV. Yeah, so just pretty much probably just only watch me from now on. I'm a big Brachiosaurus fan. It's the best dino, Duke Master says. I 100% agree. The Brachiosaurus is my favorite dinosaur. It's the tallest. What's not to love?
I thought of something.
Yeah. Maybe. Sorry, Michaela was talking to me for a second. Oh Lord, every time I scroll slightly in the chat, it all disappears for me. It's really sucks. Okay, whenever I'm watching the news, I'm mainly concerned with what the weather is going to be like tomorrow. Shiny Crystal Business. You know, there's an app probably on your phone. Like, hey Siri, what's the temperature outside?
It's 79 degrees right now.
There you go. So you could just do that, and then you don't have to watch the news at all. Tech for President, thank you, Hyperreality. Yes, please. But although my platform for running for office, for sure, is first rule, motorcycles, outlawed, illegal, done. Can't ride them, not allowed. Can't even make them. Rule number 2, no urinals. There's no need to stand and pee just because you can. You're gonna make a mess. People that pee sitting down don't make messes. So just sit the fuck down and pee. I just don't understand. That's my take. That's the platform. So if you don't like that, then you're not gonna want to vote for me. But I'm being honest. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to like pull the wool over your eyes. No motorcycles, no urinals. But free candy. So I love those clouds in the background. Yes. Actually, I should clarify. I did not make this background. I don't think I've ever made a background for Welcome to Dino Hour. They've all been created by people who watch Welcome to Dino Hour. This one was made a long time ago. And I feel horrible, but I do not remember who made this. If you made this, please say so in the chat. If you didn't make this, don't lie. We don't need like a Spartacus situation going on here. Yeah, Brachiosaurus, definitely the best. Is the plural of cloud strife cloud strives? An excellent question, Zucchino Jasmine. I believe though, yeah, right? Yeah, it's gotta be it. And then the past tense of cloud strife is obviously cloud strophe. It's probably cloud strafe. It's cloud strophe. The real question Abby Parker asked is, are birds just discount reptiles? I feel like it's the other way around. I feel like the feathers, I don't know, I feel like birds are, there's something more terrifying to me about birds than lizards. I'm more scared of alligators. But like, some birds, like what is it called, like the scoop bill? Let's look at that real quick. Is it scoop bill? Hold on. I gotta do that thing where like, I hope this doesn't slow everything down. We're gonna see what happens. Do that, do that, do that, do that, do that, and that, and that, and that. And is that? No? There we go. Oh, where am I? There I am. I want to find the scoop bill. Scoop bill. Spoon bill. Spoon bill? Shoe bill. Shoe bill stork. It's too scary. Fuck that. Oh. Okay, the shoebill stork is the dino of the week. That is... like, what? Fucking terrifying. Dear God. This isn't so scary. I like that. It's just too, like... Well, look at him. Yeah, this is the dino of the week. Oh. No, thank you. Yeah. So I just wanted to check him out. He starts out so innocent. And then turns into this fucking psycho. I love it. Okay. Spitrag says, this is what my wife looks like. Jesus. Alright. I think we're... I wonder, is there, out of curiosity, is there a delay right now? Like, for my speaking voice and the sound? Yeah, the bird is too much. Not anymore. No. Okay. Come on. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So, Shoebill stork, dino of the week, and so yeah, to me, lizards, not quite as scary. Hyperreality said birds are dicks. My patriot chases my family member trying to bite them if they get too close to my dad. What is a patriot? Tupperwave says, I can imagine that bird doing an evil laugh. Yeah, of course you can. Look at him. Oh. Too much. Dear God. Oh, probably an autograph for parrot. My parrot chases my family member trying to bite them if they get too close to my dad. Yeah, I had a lovebird when I was a little kid, and it like would just randomly fucking bite. Like, it would like nuzzle and be loving for like long stretches, and then all of a sudden it would be like bite. Here, I'll go back to regular scene. This might be there. Do that. Okay. My Patriot. Is that? Yeah, it's fine. Shoebills look so angry because they paid too much for footwear, please no says. That's true. Yeah, owls' eyes can't move inside their own heads because their eyes are shaped like tubes, Ognos says. That's why they stare directly at you when they look at you. So one thing that I wonder sometimes is like, how do animals excuse me, how do animals like dogs or cats know to look you in the eye? Like, as if they would understand. Like a dog that's never seen a mirror looks to the same part of your body as they look with their body. Is it registering to them that, like, eye contact? Maybe it's just like an innate thing. I don't know. Shoebills are sneakerhead hype beasts. I would like to see a meme of that. Probably Instinct? Yeah, I guess so. Smugduck asked Tech, who's your favorite weather news Japan weather girl? Mine's Hayama. Same, Smug. Same. Birds are they, thems, 100%, no need to correct it. Sorry, Daffodil. My bad. Tech, Al, and I lost our shit when the screen said Yellow Flower Lost when I was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake last night. You found it. You found it. Randochi said, look up Japetus barbatus, the bearded vulture, said to cover itself in the blood of its prey to look more attractive to its mates. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the thing again. It may get all skippy again, I'm sorry. No. Try to set that up to work. I'm gonna look up the... I can't fucking just copy it. Jesus Christ. He's not as scary, but he is definitely creepy. And yeah, he looks like he looks Joker-fied. Yeah, looks insane. It's pretty sick. Covered in blood, yeah, it would be a bit much. Its eye is like horrifying for sure. Daffodil said, I only just tuned in, but if you're looking at cool birds, you gotta check out the secretary bird. It's Dino Hour, and dinos, what is a dino but a large bird? Secretary bird? Whoa. Well, hello. Who is she? What is this fucking bird? Where is this bird located? I'm liking it. I'm liking the secretary. Yeah, those eyelashes, mesmerizing. What is? I don't know about all that. I think. Wow. Welcome to Dino Hour, folks. Sorry, alright, yeah, well, here you go. That's the secretary. Ooh, I see this one. Awesome. I'm into this. Join the team. Oh, thank you. Anyway, yeah, okay, so I'm gonna come back to normal view here. Probably fine if I do that, right? Oh yeah, okay. Whatever. Okay. No, I've seen Paradise Bird. It's okay. Seen it, but Tupperwave says, "Don't y'all be going Rule 34 in that damn bird now." Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, little modern dinos. Yeah, I truly think that dinosaurs probably were feathered and probably not like polygonal like that guy. But anyway, the cassowary bird. Yeah, I have seen that. The temporary secretary bird, Wit said. Yeah, so anyway, we were just checking out. Oh, Emo Bob Ross says, dogs understand the idea of looking in the eyes. That's why they sometimes look you in the eye when they're shitting, because they're vulnerable and are making sure you have their back. Interesting. That's why I look people in the eyes when I'm shitting too. Neil Tier says, what's the most goth dinosaur we know? A great question. Probably like, I don't know. Not enough people have played Monster Rancher. The Black Rex from Monster Rancher is the most goth dino. I promise you. Hot Takes Vapor said, I read somewhere that cats just think we're big, dumb cats. And maybe we are. Molo, sometimes I wonder what my cats think. Like, am I an object that moves for them and my hands are all that's important because that's what gives them scratches, and my legs are stumps and my body is just a cushion? I wonder what animals think of living things and what they perceive. Ha ha ha, I'm so weird. Oh, Molo. Yeah, they probably just think that you're just there to exist purely for them. I imagine. And that's why I respect cats more than I respect dogs. I understand that. Black Midi told me that our cats think we're geniuses. I don't know. I feel like we're slaves to the cats, although they are dependent on us for food, so that's why they don't kill us in our sleep. If cats could smoke, they would chain smoke. That sounds right, yeah. Dr. Duct Tape said, I've seen that too, referring to, cats thinking we're big dumb cats. They see us as clumsy and hairless. They also meow at us because they know we can't hear ultrasonic noises they make towards other cats. That's an interesting theory. And Fia64 said, because they treat us like they do kittens, like when they try to bring in live mice from outside, it's because they're trying to teach you how to hunt. Oh, that's so cute. That's such an adorable theory. I like that. That's sweet. I like that even more than like them trying to impress me. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, cats rule everything around me. Rainy Cake says, I rather believe that cats think we're huge stupid babies that need their help, but are somewhat harmless and often pretty useful. That's what I think about everyone around me. You know what I mean? Just everyone is just a huge stupid baby that is somewhat harmless but often pretty useful. And they rub against my legs to mark their scent on me. So they can always talk about it. I would scream if my cat ever brought me a dead thing. Yeah, when I was with James and Keith in Philadelphia and we were recording, James's cat found a mouse and brought it to us, and it's crazy because his cat is so like just so chill all the time. And then when like the mouse thing happened, he just became a completely different cat, just like totally locked in. His like pupils were all different. He's like crazed, like I've got it, like like he like dropped the mouse and then it scurried off, and then he like started going after it, and we were just like, oh my god. But it was just like you couldn't like get him to calm down. Like it's just sort of a reminder of like the I don't know, wildness or whatever of having a creature like that in your house. But Dr. Duct Tape says we are all cats compared to Tech. Shiny Crystal Pistol says Tech Catgirl Army Patches win. Jesus. He didn't like you guys and was like, see what I'll do to your friends, James. Tupperwave said my cat brought me a huntsman spider once and I died inside a little. Are you for real? It brought you a huntsman spider, like a huntsman or a giant huntsman? Those spiders, if you don't know what a huntsman spider is, just look it up, or don't. They're fucking horrifying. Anxiety of the spectacle. Yeah, fuck Australia. Yeah, big Australia moment. Shiny Crystal said, a cat that can battle the Australian wildlife, that's a cat that will live forever. Yeah, yeah, no, fuck that. No thanks. Would not want to live in, Australia just for that reason alone. Al said, I'm not familiar with that spider. Al, just Google giant huntsman. I'm not going to do it because people genuinely have arachnophobia. I mean, you're only going to see the spider. You're not going to see anything like gross or gory, but it is a huge spider and it is very scary. The only other comparable spider I think is actually like a tarantula, and it's called the Goliath bird eater, I think is what it's called. I think it actually has more mass than a giant huntsman, but the giant huntsman is like bigger, wider or whatever, longer leg span. Dr. Duct Tape said, ew, why did I Google that? Yeah, I saw a picture once of a giant huntsman like chilling out with a huge nest of baby giant huntsmans that they were all babies and they were all like this big. It's fucking ridiculous, like just way too much. They are completely harmless, but it's so damn big. Yeah, it's too big. It doesn't matter how harmless they are, it's just too scary. It's just simply too scary. Tech, you ever watch Coyote Peterson? I don't know who Coyote Peterson is. Is Coyote Peterson the one that would like get stung or bitten by creatures for YouTube likes? He made me afraid of tarantula hawks. Yeah, tarantula hawks, for anyone that doesn't know, a tarantula hawk is a wasp that is like it's like that big. You should Google those too. And they absolutely are terrifying looking, and they live in like I know they live in like the southwest of America because they look for tarantulas, and then they swoop down, sting the tarantula to paralyze it, pick it up, and then fly it to wherever its nest is. And then, while it's still paralyzed, they put their egg on it, and then the baby comes out and then eats the tarantula as like its initial source of energy. It's fucking brutal, just really awful. Ogno said, lol, Coyote Peterson has a fetish for getting stung by painful fucking bugs. Yeah, bye Tupperwave. Thanks for tuning in. Shiny Crystal said that's some alien shit right there. Yeah, they are a terrifying creature. Sakina Jasmine said there's a kind of smallish, medium-sized spider who I allow to stay in her web in the upper corner of my bathroom window rent-free because she keeps nasty, smaller bugs out like mosquitoes, etc. She's cool. I agree. I've had a spider in my house once. I think it lived in my bathroom too. Can't remember where this was, but I was like, It was just always there. He didn't go anywhere else. So I was like, okay, you can chill there. Like, that's fine. And I got a little spooked one day when he was no longer there after like weeks. But the web was still there. And I was like, oh god, it's somewhere in my room now or something. But I never saw him again, so I like to think that he just moved on, you know? Anyway, tarantula hawks are fucking savage, for sure. Nathan says house centipedes kill bad bugs too. And then B answered correctly, true, but too many legs. It's very true. House centipedes, oh, I just got like a chill thinking about them. They're like the little feathery, fuck those things, man. I know that they're like, you're not like supposed to kill them, but like, I can't do it. It's too big of a creature, moving too much like a sea creature on my floor and my wall. Can't do it. I haven't seen one since I moved to Florida, but I had a couple apartments that were in Ohio that were just like, they had them, and it was too much. And they were like camouflaged with the carpet in this one place. So like, you could like, you know how like humans are like weird because like, we're almost like, it's like kind of like an alien species where like if something like moves, we're just like instantly on it, you know? Like if you just see like the tiniest little thing move somewhere. It was like that, but on the carpet, it would be a house centipede, and then like you're just like, but you can't see it. But you know something's weird because the carpet has like moved. And you're like, I don't like this. So yeah, not a fan of those at all. Too scary looking, that's right. Nathan said move to Western Washington if you don't like weird bugs, just spiders and ants and bees there. Yeah, I've moved to Florida and I've still not seen a palmetto bug. One of the condos I lived in had, in Florida, like almost everywhere has like these big ass roaches, that are just kind of like a part of life or something. It's not like the roaches in the Midwest. Roaches in the Midwest are like these little tiny guys and they're like in groups a lot of the time. But down here, if you have like a roach in your house, it's like this big thing. And palmetto bugs are like that. They're roaches. They're huge. I don't think they're actually roaches, but they look just like roaches. They're huge. And, you know, the bigger the creature, the like harder it is to like kill it, because it's like, you know, it's gonna like crush and it's awful. But then it like will like lift off the ground and just start flying. Because that's what palmetto bugs do. And so that's like, no thanks. I've been fortunate enough to not see one since I moved to Florida, but I have seen one in South Carolina before and was like, fuck that. Too much for me. In Western Washington, the only way you have roaches in your house is if you live in a crack house. Yeah, I mean, like, it usually is like a sign of like poverty if you had roaches in your house in the Midwest, but down here everybody has them. Although this building, never seen one, so that's nice. Whip Music said, have you seen Moist Critical? Yes, his encounters with Florida roaches are hilarious. I'm sure he's a character. Spidrag says, what would the Koji Kondo of bugs be? I don't know. Probably that caterpillar with like the little daisy in its hair from Super Mario World. That would be the Koji Kondo of bugs. To the best of my knowledge. I think I'm gonna use my last half hour here to tell a story that I told a long time ago on like the very, very, very first episode of Welcome to Dino Hour. I think it might have even been, I don't even know if the show was called Welcome to Dino Hour yet. Yes, Nathan, it's milk time. I think there were probably only a handful of people watching at the time, so hopefully not too many people have already heard this story, but yeah, I'm just gonna tell the story. The story Milk Time, just because I'm new channel, and so why not? Maybe some new viewers. Yes, I did an episode on about Classroom Sex Tape and like what that whole album was about and like what I was trying to accomplish with it and stuff. And then to lighten the mood, because it's super fucking dark, I told the Milk Time story. But basically, the Milk Time story was just the most like okay, all right. First off, the story is for mature audiences only. Welcome to Boner Hour was the working title. That's true, Spit Rag. Yeah, this is for mature audiences only. Anyway, it should also be noted, I should preface the story with, I identify as asexual. I'm not, for those of you who don't know me, I don't care about sex. It's like not a thing for me that I'm like particularly interested in. When I was younger, for sure, it was sort of just like, I was just like, I think the whole concept of sex like made me like kind of like uncomfortable or something maybe. So naturally I've had some encounters in my life that have been complex. But anyway, so when I was married at one point and I got divorced and I lived in Philadelphia, but when we got divorced I moved back to my hometown of Dayton, Ohio, and I was not dating anyone. Far Francis claims to be asexual and yet was involved in a classroom sex tape scandal. Anyway, I was living in Dayton, and a couple who lived out in California that were friends with my ex-wife and I. They were like more like her friends, and they weren't really my friends so much. They were coming into Dayton to visit family, and they asked if I wanted to hang out with them. And I was like, yeah, sure. So another mutual friend, again, she was like more friends with my ex-wife. But basically the couple and this girl, we'll call her Jackie, we all like went out one night. We were just like, okay, whatever, like, well, I'll hang out, because I had not a whole lot of social life going on when I first moved back. And so anyway, Tsukino Jasmine said I'm demisexual, so can partially relate. Only found out about the word a few years ago. Yeah, I think I feel like demisexual is going to be a more I think more people are going to realize that about themselves, because I think that it's like I don't know, I don't want to I'm gonna finish the story anyway. So we all went out to this bar, and it was fine, but like I could tell after a little while that the couple was like, they basically had kind of like, they were trying to sort of set me up with the girl Jackie, and which was kind of weird. Actually, it was very weird, because Jackie was married. She was married and she had 3 kids, and I was like not interested in dating someone who was married and had 3 kids, and also wasn't interested in sleeping with them on account of not being particularly interested in sleeping with anyone. So yeah, they were bow-chicking the bow wow. And so it was just kind of, it was a little bit like, I was like, all right, whatever, like, kind of just, okay. And then, the music in the background. So, yeah, we were at the bar, we had a few drinks, and then they were like, do you want to go to the strip club? And I had never been to a strip club, and I was actually, like, in general, pretty uncomfortable with the idea, I think, like, just not really a strip club guy. And so, but like, it was sort of just one of those things where they're like, yeah, we're going to the strip club, come on, let's go. So I was like, Okay. So I know we went through an alcohol drive-through because the strip club we went to is this place called Diamonds, and they. I remember it being a big thing. They had like nude dancers or something like that, but could only have nude dancers if you bring your own alcohol, or you couldn't have like liquor. I can't remember the rules. Anyway, it was like this whole weird thing. And Shiny Crystal Pistol said, "I'll go to the strip club, but first let me get the darkest shades ever." Yeah. So we went to wait, what Ballsack said? Plastics, processed meats, and pesticides is being scientifically proven to lower test levels in males and lower infertility in females. Okay, all right. And so, yeah. So anyway, it's not my fault. Oh, thank you. So, okay, Junior, I'll see you later. Anyway, the point is we got some alcohol from like a beer drive-through or whatever. Went to the strip club, and it was a fucking really surreal experience for me because I had never been. And yeah, Tony says strip clubs are weird. Honestly, they are big time. It is like surrealism. You walk in, it was like purple lighting everywhere, and then just like topless women just walking around, and like, you know, it being like fine, like, you know. Dr. Jeff Tape says alcohol drive-through. How is that legal? Yeah, it's Dayton, Ohio. I don't know what to tell you. And so, yeah, a beer drive-through. It basically is. Think of it like a gas station store that you drive through. It literally, like, your car goes through it. There's beer and some chips and stuff like that on like the sides, and there's a guy who comes up to your window. You tell him what you want, he goes and gets it, and then you drive away. Naturally, we had already been to the bar, so at this point, the guy who was driving was definitely drunk driving. Do not drink and drive. This story doesn't involve any kind of like drunk driving accident, but I will like say like extraordinarily irresponsible. But anyway. So yeah, Saver Music said, do plastic dildos lower fertility levels? I like this like side plot we have going on. So yeah, daiquiri drive-thrus is a thing in Louisiana. Good lord. Anyway, so yeah, we went to the strip club. It was weird. I remember this stripper came up and she like sat on my lap, and I was just like, luckily I was pretty drunk by that point, so otherwise I would have been like uncomfortable or embarrassed probably at that time. But anyway, I did feel like I felt like obligated to like give her money because I felt like I was like wasting her time or something. She was talking about, I just kept asking her questions about like what her like college plans were and stuff. Shiny Crystal Pizzle said, Smug Duck, you are not a mature audience. Yeah, so yeah, I just kept giving this girl like dollar bills as I was talking to her and asking her about her life and trying not to be creepy at her or whatever. But anyway, that went on for a little while, and then yeah, so then it started to get weirder, and I remembered, like, at a certain point, I was very drunk by this point. We were all very drunk at this point, but I do remember that Jackie, like, eventually lifted her shirt, and then she was like, well, before she did that, she was like, hey, want to see something cool? We were like, all right, and she lifted her shirt, and then proceeded, she was topless, and proceeded to squirt milk from her boob onto the table we were sitting at. And we were like, I think like I was, you know, it was milk time. And so I didn't want to like make anybody feel uncomfortable, because I was obviously like in that moment I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? But yeah, she was just she had she had like one of her kids was only like, I don't know, 1 or something, so she was able to produce milk. Anyway, she shot milk out onto the table a couple of times, and we were like, I don't know, just kind of laughing about it. And then I remember like the couple, the guy and the girl that we were with. I remember she and Jackie were both topless inside the strip club at some point. So anyway, it was a pretty intense. I don't really know what was going on. Very drunk. So anyway, some guar type shit. Rachel Pye says. So it was milk time was over at the strip club, and so I assumed at that point that would have been the weirdest point of the night, but it just kept getting more absurd. So the couple asked Jackie and I if we wanted to go hang out at their hotel that they were staying at, because remember they came in from California. So we were like, yeah, sure. And so we literally mommy milkers. Jesus. You're chastising fucking smug duck over here, and here you are making mommy milkers jokes. Anyway, no, so we went to their hotel room, and the woman in the couple pulled out a suitcase, which was fine, but the suitcase was like she opened it up and it was like full of like lingerie and like sex toys and like stuff, but I would say like mostly lingerie though, which I was kind of like, even in my drunken brain I was kind of like, why would you need to pack that much fucking lingerie? She came prepared. Yeah, so not stuff. Yeah, so I was like, huh. And then she and Jackie grabbed some of it and they were like, we're gonna go change. And so they went into the bathroom and they were changing, I guess, into lingerie. And so I was just hanging out with the guy, and then the guy is actually a pretty funny guy, and he had an idea that is gonna sound really, really fucking stupid when I explain this. It sounds stupid on paper, but it was genuinely a funny idea that I was like okay with, which was that we would put on some of the lingerie so that when they came out we were wearing lingerie. However, I put a bra on over my shirt, I put some underwear on over my pants, thinking, okay, this will be kind of funny or whatever. And he was the one who came up with the idea, so I was like, alright, yeah, I'll just go with that. But then I fucking turn, and he has a top on but no shirt on underneath, and then he's just not wearing anything on his bottoms, just straight up dick out. And I like see his peen, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And so like I'm like laughing to try and like be fine with it or something. But really I'm like, this is weird. I don't know what's going on. And so, yeah, nervous laughter, yes, Ranjoshi. So the girl and Jackie came out, and they were like wearing lingerie or whatever, and then like I think one of them sat down in like a computer chair, like a desk chair that was in the hotel room. And this is the stuff Nardwar will bring up when he interviews DDS. So, so one of them sat, I think it was the woman from the couple, she sat down in the chair, and then Jackie went over to her, and then they started like making out, and I was like, oh, alright, everybody's very drunk. and then she just started going down on her, and I was just like, holy fuck, what the fuck is going on? So like me like being like nervous and weird about sex to begin with, and this like happening like in front of me, completely like not like picking up any signals that this might be something that we're like leading to, is like, I'm like, what the fuck? And so then, I mean, I like, the girls were doing stuff, then the guy jumped in and like Jackie was doing stuff with the guy, and then like the girl and the guy were together, and like none of them were actually having like fucking like sex, but they were all just like doing stuff. And so I was like standing there, and basically standing there extremely like uncomfortable. And then Rainy Kick says, "You think you're tough? Well, let's see you squirt milk out of your nipples." And I was wearing, literally, I'm like standing there, and I realized I'm standing here while this is happening in front of me, while these 3 people are cucking me. And I'm wearing women's lingerie in this moment. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm so glad that I am obliterated drunk, because if I weren't, this would be the single most like embarrassing, humiliating experience that could possibly ever happen to me. But instead I was just like laughing. And then I remember the woman from the couple, she was kind of just chilling out, and she was like, "Do you want to jump in here, Tech?" And I was like, no, I'm fine. And she was like, "I understand, some people just like to watch." And I was like, yeah, weird music, some people just like to watch. Yeah, so anyway, that was the culmination of that event. It all kind of fizzled out after like 15 minutes. Oh, also there was this weird terrible trance music playing in the background the whole time. It was like dreamlike, where you're just like, how's any of this happening or real? And so yeah, it was very, very, very insane. And then I had to go home. And yeah, it was not. How do you even want to hang out with those people again after that? I never did. I never hung out with them ever again. Just never did. It was the single weirdest moment of my entire life, for sure. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do about that? Anyway, yeah. So that what a journey. Hey mom, can you pick me up? I'm scared. Oh, Nathan, your message got flagged for the C word. Oh, you can't say it. Yeah, you should be allowed to say cucks in here. Yeah, that's fine. I just said it. I've had some totally random ones filtered. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes things get caught in the chat that are like, Tech went home to write classroom sex tape. No, that was not for a while later. But anyway, yeah, so that's the story of Milk Time. I told that story a while back. Figured I'd wait pretty long amount of time to into the stream to tell it. So if people who weren't interested in the chat or in the show would hop out before I got to it. But it's the friends you make along the way. Yeah, it was extremely insane. And then like, I did realize that I had this great story to tell at this point. But the problem with telling that story is that obviously is, very mature subject. But if you're like, some people straight up don't understand why. Like, some people are just like, dude, why didn't you just fucking hop in? There's a fucking orgy. And I was just like, because I didn't want to be in the fucking orgy. I don't know. Like, why else wouldn't I want to? Like, I don't know. Rendochi said, I guess it just depends on how you use the word, but this was okay because it was a literal cuck story. How many dino hours make up a Milk Time? Tsukino Jasmine said, I'm glad you shared. Yeah, anyway, so that's Milk Time. And we're almost at the end here. So, can somebody test out Is the Hot Takes Vapor channel happening, by the way, right now? That way I can raid it a couple minutes early here. They are live? Okay, sick. A Dino Hour is 2 hours worth of milk time. Yeah, I can't believe it happened to either be. Yeah, there's so many reasons to not jump in trance music now. Yeah, it was unbelievable. Anyway, all right, so that dude, believe it or not, I've been in a similar situation, said Saber Music, and I was 0% aroused. Yeah, it's not a very arousing situation. It's very confusing, and you're like, what the fuck is? Imagine adding to Tiesto. Jesus. Yeah, it was a very very insane, very insane experience. Anyway, so okay, so we're going to raid Hot Takes Vapor. They have FM Skyline on the show, 100% Electronica alumni, and they're gonna talk about probably Kanye West. That's my guess. Forgive me, DJ Tiesto, for I have sinned. So yeah, I'm gonna type this raid. Right, Hot Takes Vapor, and I'll click that. It should give us that, and in 10 seconds we can raid. So we'll do, I guess, yeah. This is Dino out.